The coach, welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And into a sea of red, we're underway in Kansas City.
Let's go! The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Yellow! I'm going 80!
48 right now, let's go! Man, I got you.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Let's go, defense. Outside.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where he, their big tight end, is so good. That middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well. And he's got it.
So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long.
Come on here, come get some.
Mahomes going to throw. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Matt Judon able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson being chased out left. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 31-yard line.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him. And he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The sack comes from Anthony Hitchens.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
After the sack on first down, Jackson, it's complete to Snead. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
He gets it to Brown, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on fourth down to bring up first and goal.
Put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Jackson will throw again. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Taking it in from 4 yards out as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And now here comes Kansas City, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mahomes. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first. From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. Flushed out right. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
To throw, it's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the grab. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Now here's Mahomes, escaping the pressure right. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. An 8-yard touchdown run as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
No. Davis from the top rope. I like it. Eluding the pressure right. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. 8-6 the score after 1. Butker now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Football 101 tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And all the way down to the 37. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. We know he's got the arm, but watch out for those wheels.
Kind of harkens back to guys they used to call the scrambler and the dodger. This guy can make it work with his legs.
Field opened up. He took advantage. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On the counter, Ingram. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Run coverage, excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times do we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus, tackling the runner for a loss?
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Snead's got it. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. 4th down, here's Jackson, buying time to his left. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this one? Both of these guys running the ball well.
Yeah, they mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example right there of just good mobility. He'll buy some time right. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Jackson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Jackson trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31, the 40, the 20. 10, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Mahomes now to throw. Mahomes hit. He lost the football.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
We got this.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Flying in to blow that play up, Alex Okafor.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
Defense.
A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one, and let's face it, he is so amped up. Wanting to get a good get-off on the snap, jump too quickly.
They will face a 2nd and 9 now following the penalty. After the penalty, it's Ingram. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Flush to his right. He finds an opening past the 40. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson. Going to throw again. Dancing to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs. Able to improvise and get the first. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Here's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Like a freight train there, Derek Nottie with a sack.
Brandon, that just looked like a lot of confusion to me at the line of scrimmage. I don't think the offense had any idea of who was coming on the blitz and who was dropping off.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing is Jackson. Flushed out right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. Through an opening, and there he goes. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Yeah, score! Touchdown! Touchdown, baby, yeah!
that's a tough spot as a quarterback, Charles. You want to get rid of it, but you see what can happen when you do try to get rid of it with pressure.
Yeah, and how about the pressure coming without them having to blitz? That's when you know things are clicking for your defense, and the end result, they end up gaining 6 points.
Andy Reid never one to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Darren Lee picks it, and his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap?
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. From 21 yards away. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now Mahomes to the line as the Chiefs are going to go for the 2-point try. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
All day, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. On 2nd down and 4, Jackson. And Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option. Take it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Let's go.
Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Running right, this is Ingram. 7 yards there and a first down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Jackson now, forced out to his left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Jackson throwing on target to Brown. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. To throw is Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson to throw, eluding the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. Now it's Jackson, and he's got Snead. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Now it's Jackson, flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go. He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
Jackson, and he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Darren Lee, and the ball's going to be going back to the Chiefs. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time, 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
And I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Sammy Watkins the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Looking again for Watkins, and this time that's complete. 22 yards there, a first down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Yellow. Check 41. Here we go.
Mahomes going to throw. Steps away to his left. And going deep for Hill. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
I'm going to run you over.
Mahomes to throw once more. Flushed out right. He'll run it. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom, he took advantage of it. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing now is Mahomes, being chased out left. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, throwing back across his body. Picked off by Patrick Onwuasor, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Now Jackson throwing to start the drive. And he's going to keep it here. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And finally wrestled down at the 11. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is.
And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens turn that interception into a touchdown. The quarterback run has eaten him up all game long, and there he goes again, this time into the end zone.
And what I like about what I'm seeing, absolutely running almost with impunity. He's not worried about his body. He's not worried about sliding. He's not worried about protecting himself. He's worried about getting yardage. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, you've got to start figuring out what these blocking schemes are and finding ways to defeat them.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out come the Chiefs now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Throwing again on second down. Mahomes into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick on Wassor. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Kelsey, the intended receiver there.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Alex Okafor able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
They run from the pistol with Ingram. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, it's Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Kendall Fuller. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. Now Mahomes on the bootleg, rolling to his right. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. Escaping the pressure right. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
To throw again on second down. Mahomes, he's going to take off with it. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Sliding out of the pocket. He goes full extension, and he's got it.
Let's go. Let's do this.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post-route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Now here's Mahomes, eluding the pressure right. And an alley to run. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right cover.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. Got the momentum going, right? That's you create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion? As far as how you're defending it.
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. From the gun, Jackson steps away. Now he'll pull it down. And shoves him off at the 20. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets them a first down. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Here's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Buying time to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Anthony Hitchens picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Alex Okafor. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Mahomes throwing on 4th. Flushed out right. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. On 2nd and 11 now. Mahomes. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. He was looking for his tight end, Kelsey.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Jackson. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Darren Lee able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
To try again after the sack. Jackson, space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs.
It's our time.
Now Jackson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
65.
One last shot for Jackson. And this is dropped and incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game. So this one in the win column for Kansas City, and they were really helped by their defense forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.